Greetings from Lou Groza Boulevard. Today is Wednesday, August 9th, 2023, and welcome to our 2023 Cleveland Browns training camp tour. You can see a bunch of cars parked over there on the grass, a bunch of cars here. Seems like more cars than I'm used to seeing in these lots. But I am dressed in my Browns gear, hat, and Brownie the Elf shirt. Even though Brownie the Elf was they're trying to phase them out this year in favor of that new dog logo. But still representing the shirt proudly. And what I try to do for training camp is not so much show practice itself, but show like the fan experience part of it. You see, I've got the Cleveland Browns logo in the center of the street there. I know a couple of weeks ago, Daryl Ryder from 92.3 The Fan had tweeted a picture of the white Browns helmet. Yeah, somewhere on the ground, I thought it was the street, there was a white Browns helmet because the Browns are going to be wearing their white helmets 3 times this season. Let's go ahead and try to cross while there's a break here. Looks like the line is held up there because they're trying to figure out what's available to park. So if you go that way, that's the front of Berea, the cross-country mortgage campus. And I'm going to walk down Pearl Street. One of the things I pointed out last year that was a huge change was that the Browns had successfully acquired a bunch of the houses, like basically everything that starts right here all the way up until you see a house that's still standing. The Browns had acquired them and then torn down all those houses, and I believe it included one of the churches that they tore down too. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they acquired houses on this side of the street too, and that would make sense because you can see like the parking lot there is Browns affiliated. Now that entrance there is for the sideline club, so you have to be special access. So essentially, if you're part of the sideline club, you're not really going to have that much waiting. Once we get inside, we'll try to cover more of the changes. I'm not going to be drastic changes, but you can see one of them sort of. The 40-yard dash has now been moved over here. Past several years, it's been on the complete opposite side of the Berea grounds. Now this area here, you kind of see cars are just starting to pull up and park. I don't know if that's governed by anyone. There is a sign down here that says Browns parking $10. So maybe that person must own the plot of land and charge $10 for it. And look at this over here. This is the one house that was, or one of the houses that was a holdover, like they didn't want to relinquish it. I wonder if they're charging for parking too, or if cars are just saying, what the heck, screw it, we're gonna go ahead and park there. Yeah, but this is a vast difference from last year as far as the parking goes, because last year no cars were parking here, and that includes the other side of the street where you see all those cars. And they've got to be charging for them. I don't think cars are just pulling up in people's yards and parking. Yeah, that person's sitting in a chair, so I bet she probably has a sign and is charging for it. See, I'm used to, in the past years, seeing people selling like merchandise. And then you would see a few front yards as we get closer would have maybe 2 or 3 spots available and they would charge for parking. But these are pretty big lots that these people are making available for people to park. And there's clearly a demand for it. There's the park that I have frequented in the past. R.B. Scott Park. The reason I say frequented in the past is several years I have ridden my bicycle either all the way or part way here. And when I've done so in the past, I would lock it right to this thing right here, but I do not have a bike today. Still fun to, it's part of my personal training camp experience to stop by. All right, let's get back to getting ready to enter the facility. Yeah, see, this person here is charging $15 to park. I wouldn't be making such a big deal about this if this was the case every year. This is not the norm for at least this street to have that heavy of a volume of people charging for traffic. I'm going to cut the video until I turn the corner up there, just because the camera's in the heat right now. I don't want it to overheat too early. All right, we've skipped forward to, now I'm at 3rd Avenue and Pearl Street. See, there you go. You got a person who's charging for pop $1, chips $1, water $1, and lemonade $1. On a hot day like this, not a bad deal, but obviously if you're charging for parking, you're going to make significant higher margin. I always wonder too, not that I'm going to rat anyone out, but when people charge for that, how many of them are reporting it as like income, or are they just doing it all under the table? Now that we get closer to Beach Street, which is where the entrance to camp is, you see the rates get a little bit higher. Over there, Brown's parking is $20, although it doesn't look like they're allowing people to park in the grass. So maybe it's just reserved to those 4 spots that are in the driveway. Oh, there we go. I was waiting to see these signs, Training Camp 2023, with that new dog logo. Started August 1st. Of course, at the end of July, the Browns were at the Greenbrier for 8 practice sessions. And that was due to having the Hall of Fame game, so they got some extra prep time. Practice officially started at 2 o'clock, so it's 2:06 right now. So unlike some past years, I'm not getting a shot of the bigger line since most of the crowd has already entered. You can see there's some people selling autographed footballs for $10 and some jerseys. I don't know how these people get to park here. Maybe they live here, because I can't imagine. Yeah, I mean, on the sign there it says police order residential permit parking only. So maybe you do have to have a permit to prove you live there. They should offer a bag check over there if you want to leave your bag there. Otherwise, it's the clear bag policy. So I'm going to put this away and get ready to go through the line myself. All right, so we just entered training camp. And then you have the usual signage up front. They changed the way it looks, but it's Same concept. There's 4 practice fields for the Browns, and they stick the logo on the one where the team is mostly going to be practicing. So today's practice is primarily going to be held on that field over there. But we'll still do a tour of the whole area. Forgive me if I take some time sometimes. I'm just like making sure I snap some pictures before I continue forward. Check out our new kid-only digital passport system for youth monitor. Complimentary water is provided to all fans for the Deja Blue. Some past years they had it where this field was oriented going the other direction. I can't remember when they changed that back. So like it used to be 4 fields, then it was 3 fields, now it's 4 fields, but I don't think it was like just changed this year to 4 fields. This is a no stopping zone. I wonder why. That's the spot where the shade is. People want to stop there. So one of the things I'm lightly surprised about is that the signage on the side doesn't appear to be featuring that dog logo. It still says like Cleveland Browns, and it has Brownie the elf, actually the same elf that I'm wearing right now. I thought there would be a big time presence of it. They only had it really at the very front entrance, and then up against the field house you can see it says training camp with the big dog on it. Well, one of the even though doors opened at 1 o'clock, one of the reasons I don't get here early is because you'll just be sitting here doing nothing. I like to kind of observe practice when there's the full amount of fans here and all the activities are being engaged in. Gives you a better perspective of like the action starting at camp. A little slow go around the corner, so that's why I was pausing the video. You see the on-site bathroom there, so if a player needs to quickly use the restroom during practice, they can jump over there. You got the public restroom here. 7-Up station. I assume they're selling those. Well, so let's see what activities they have here. This is where the 40-yard dash used to be. They've got a kids station where they're throwing the footballs.
You want to go get another one? You bet that.
Avocados from Peru. Oh, there we go. The class of 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame, Joe Thomas. That's got to be the big spectacle to take a picture of this year. And then right here you've got ticket and mobile support, ticket sales and services, Cleveland Browns Foundation. Oh, no one's taking pictures of Hanford Dixon and Frank Minifield. Now they are.
Welcome back, baby.
ESPN Cleveland. Looks like they're playing some type of Jenga game. Just in time, I got the second to last cinch bag for University Hospital's Browns. It'll help me carry some freebies if I find anything else. You got the Browns sign right there. Deja Blue water. I'm gonna stop recording for a second so I can grab a bottle. And then if you're too hot, you can go into the cooling station with the mist coming down. If you didn't get a seat in the bleachers, the big bleachers rather, you can try to sit at the field level ones. This is actually really nice if you're able to secure those spots early. But you'd have to get here like right when practice is opening. More restrooms. So they have 2 sets of restrooms over here. I only remember 1 set in the past. Here's the puppy pound. Oh, of course it's super busy. Oh, they've got multiple stations now. 2 puppies there. Looks like over here maybe they're actually adopting a puppy, if I had to guess. Spending some time with it. The fan club for dogs. Alumni autographs. Felix Wright doing the autograph sessions today. I don't know if it was today. I thought Sugardale Hot Dogs was doing free hot dogs. See, who doesn't love getting a free hot dog when you pop in the camp? Now don't get I don't want to mislead people. You're not going to get a free hot dog if you show up to every single camp. They usually do this one practice a year where Sugardale gives out free hot dogs. Years and years ago, I happened to time it up where that worked out, so it's nice to get another one. And you've got a little bit of the team shop over here. Not sure what this station is. Looks like it's first aid. And then there's a actual snack shack where you pay for snacks or drinks. Over there to the right is the VIP tent. They've relocated that several times over the years, but if you qualify to be a VIP during practice, it might also be friends and family, I'm not sure. You get to enjoy practice from the shaded tent. So I was going to go up there initially and take a look at practice a little bit, but it looks jam-packed right now. Instead, I'm going to keep touring and do some more pictures. I want to see if I can grab a picture of myself with the Joe Thomas Hall of Fame plaque. Alright, grabbed a nice picture. See people doing the little fun football toss. Enter to win, I guess you're entering to win 2023 Ford Lightning electric truck. Fun story, back in college, it was like at Cleveland State campus recreation event. I think it might have been the day of one of the Super Bowls. They were doing like a watch party there, and they had a football thing like that, except there was only maybe one hole to get it in. It was like a really tiny hole with those small footballs, and like no one was getting it in at all. They were giving people 3 attempts, so my brother went up there and he drilled like all 3, bang, 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 all in a row. And like the staff was just blown away by it. So hey, I should have brought him here, possibly win us a car.
I can see just fine. I'm joking. I can't see anything. I'm joking.
You can see the crowd just continuing to pour here. Probably people who are on the other side are flowing over. But I'm going to resume the video once I get back by where I first came in. You do see, it looks like the punter is working over here. Special teams often work by themselves. So I missed this initially, where they have the field. On the side here, they have the 2023 season schedule. Already played the Hall of Fame game, and the first preseason, well, they call it preseason game 1, August 11th. That's against the Washington Commanders. Oh yeah, and the 2023 field design vote. Which one are you going to vote for? I'm in favor of still keeping it the elf or the Browns logo. I don't want the new dog logo featured that prominently. So now I'm headed to the other side of training camp. If you walk around the perimeter, it's like they have a more advanced first aid station here. Yeah, nothing's going on this side of the field. So unless you want to watch practice from a distance, you know, there's no incentive to stick around per se on this end.
Yeah.
Many years ago, this was back when like Alex Shiner was still with the Browns. I would complain that, you know, training camp was too tight to walk through, and that was when they didn't have all this extra space. They have another pro shop over here. The second set of bleachers where you can still make it out from a distance. So last year when they first introduced this area, this was just all green space, and then they had a couple of like random big chairs that you could just sit in. But now they've moved some of the more kid-friendly events. I guess I mean, at first I was wondering like, why did they segregate them? But I guess it's a good thing. Helps spread things out. Like the other end is more of the tables and learning information. This is kid-friendly stuff. You got the field goal post. There's a quarterback thing right next to that. Then the 40-yard dash. And then they have more kid-related stuff like the broad jump. Best catch. Oh, that's where they try to like you make a diving catch on purpose.
I just thought if you guys could have like asked.
There you go.
Hey,
What
you
up?
good?
There you go.
Let's do it without crowd.
Yeah, with all the kids, it's just a little tougher to navigate this area. They've got the vertical jump. All right, see now I do like this because you have all like the competitive things and things that kids would like to do all in one section. That's a Connect 4 game with the Browns. Two big Browns helmets. And then over there on the other side, there's a beach volleyball thing. And then that's a special, I forgot what they call it, but it's like inside, almost like your own private RV camper. And this is like a private thing as well. See the private thing? There's two of them where you almost are on your own private patio. Well, so you do have the quarterbacks over here a little bit. So if you're wondering to yourself, well, wait a minute, like they had that marker on the other field, why are they over here now? They do some individual drills on other fields. It's just the main field with the marker indicates where the team drills are going to be located, or most of the drills for the day. But I am going to resume the video. Maybe I'll try the bleachers to see if I can capture any specific action, because I pretty much covered everything that's around training camp this year, although you can also see the dummies. So they're actually on the other field right now. They're trying to do a drill where it's 24-21 and they're trying to get in field goal range. Like right now there's only 6 seconds left and they're about to clock it probably. Yep. So then presumably they'll bring on the field goal unit. Let's see if Cade York can redeem himself for missing in that Hall of Fame game. Looks like it would probably be a 47-yard field goal. It's good. Well, for whatever reason, they continued practicing on the other side of the field, so I wasn't going to sit there and bake in the sun for too long. One thing I thought, I mean, the line's not super long, but more people are taking advantage of the Sugardale hot dogs, and now Felix Wright has departed, and Chomps is the person doing autographs or pictures. Who doesn't love Chomps, the mascot? Well, even though the tail end of practice is still happening, I decided to depart so I could still walk around and show a little bit of the front of Berea, which I didn't go fully up to on the way here. And unfortunately, I don't think I got to show as many plays as I may have shown like in last year or the year before's video, but it just happened to be, you follow what the field dot says that their main practice location is going to be on. I sit down on the bleachers and they mostly go to the other side, and I thought they were going to shift over after like 10-20 minutes, but no, they kind of stayed over there. It was one of those things where I know what time practice ends, so if I was going to walk all the way around there, it's like a 10-minute walk to go through all the traffic. They either practice was going to end or they were going to probably switch to the other field where I just came from. So that's fine. Like I said, I never go to see the the practice anymore. The first couple of years that I went, I would sit in the stands and take like very diligent notes. And they, most part, would practice on the field that was close to me. But it just got to be, over the years, like repetitive, where that, especially if the sun is beating down on you, it's not really a fun experience to sit there and watch practice. If you watch it from a far distance, like I was doing for a part, also it doesn't show up good on video. That's why I wasn't taking video besides that one field goal that I captured. Several years ago, the Browns instituted a ticket system. I think it was close to, was it Baker Mayfield's year, or was it when Johnny Manziel was taken? I don't know, because it's been a while now, where there's a ticket system, meaning they would announce that training camp tickets opened on this date, and you had to quickly try to book them. They were free, but there's like a limited capacity that they would have per practice. Because back in the day, they just used to allow a free-for-all, meaning you show up or you don't show up. So some fans now will be saying, if they miss that opening window, they're like, hey, I don't have an opportunity to go to training camp. So for those people, or people who may be out of town, hopefully this little tour of training camp helped you feel immersed in the 2023 season a little bit. Going to try to continue my annual tradition where I walk up to 3rd and Front Street to Pickwick Food Mart after practice and grab a little ice cream bar. There they are, the Mighty Minis. A little ice cream sandwich. Now I'm going to walk to the front of the Browns building and then eventually catch my bus back out of here. There's the front of the Cross Country Mortgage Fieldhouse campus. Nice close-up shot of the training camp dog logo. When I had my tour of the Browns headquarters with the old Dogs by Nature staff, I don't think any of them are currently with us anymore on the staff besides me. That was back in 2014, almost 10 years ago. We went in that entrance that I just showed you. But it's always cool to see the Cleveland Browns Lou Groza Boulevard logo. It's got that like special clay look to it. Thanks again for everyone tuning in. If you enjoyed this year's tour of training camp for the year 2023, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already to Poco Traveler. Follow Dogs by Nature too, and we will see you next time. Go Browns!